goodness.
You're just on time. We're just getting started. So.
Okay, I just wanted to hear if there was anything new. I thought maybe I missed it.
I think we're in good shape. Basically, there's a couple of changes to open enrollment and what people need to do. We found a super cool map that will help you do it. Anybody have any questions on any of that?
I saw that.
So that,
Now,
yes.
I'm reading here, middle school, high school need to send copy of the forms to Leslie. That includes us, because we're gonna be sending them to Leslie also.
Yes,
Is that right?
yes. And Ken, hello, welcome. And Ken wanted to make sure that you guys kept a copy on file at the site.
Yeah, we'll do that.
What else? We did the enrollment of the K-6 students, but I'm not sure we have any K-6 secretaries on. And we have not heard anything new on the new withdrawal form that we told you not to use anymore, just because they still don't have the code set in AZEDs the way they need to have them set.
And I did open a work order with ADE to find out what they're wanting us to do.
And yeah, I don't know if you can hear from over there. Carol did open a work order with ADE to find out what we're supposed to be doing, since they put that out there and they don't have what we need to do.
Carol, I may have used a couple of those before I spoke to you about which ones to use. Do I need to go back and change that, or can we just leave it?
Nope, just keep the reports. If you've used those withdrawal forms, it's no big deal. It's not a huge change, other than they removed some codes and added some codes. It's just, why would we use a form that we can't put into Power School yet? You know what I mean? The form is fine. It's just the left hand and the right hand in the state don't know what they're doing against each other. So once the technical part of AZEDs is up and Power School is up, we'll go to that form. It's just, I think school finance jumped the gun on what they want to see, and their technical people in IT at the state weren't ready for it yet. We did get the LNS photos imported into Power School as we scroll on down. The EX1, was that clear? Does anyone have questions on that?
EX1, where are you at?
The EX1 under attendance. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
That was basically on the EX1. That was Ken had sent a letter out at the beginning of the year telling parents about the new state ruling that anything over 10% of absences would now count as unexcused. And then they backed down from that because there was a lot of controversy in how the statute actually read. So currently they have a committee meeting trying to figure out what they're going to now do with EX. And in the meantime, they've basically made it a hold harmless year. So I went back to Ken and said, are you going to send another letter out to parents saying, oops, never mind? And he said, no, that's just going to cause even more confusion. So we're going to go back to how we were doing it, whereas only absences due to out-of-school suspension will be unexcused after the 10%. That's what we were doing for the last year or two. And we aren't going to necessarily inform all the parents about it, because then what if they go back to this ruling before January or July 1st? So we have been told in the memo that I put in there that they will tell us before the end of the calendar year. So we'll see if they come through on that. But anyway, nothing will go in place until July 1st or after. Do you have any questions on the identity search? Hopefully you guys are doing that. Through AZEDs. Any questions for Sally on the student 79 report area?
Sally, do we need to be running that or something, or what?
Yes. If you guys would, because it's really important for high school, if they could change the W5 to W4 to W1, it helps out with your letter grade with the state.
Yeah, Sally, how often would you recommend they run that?
You know, I think it's up every at least once a month, but I would think at least even every, 2 weeks, especially if you have a lot of W4s.
Which was,
Yeah, and those,
I like that Leslie was sending us, a list of that, or.
no, every secretary can access and print them on. And just remember that if you do make a change on a student to W1, you shouldn't attach that to the withdrawal to show the auditors why you made the change. And a lot of yours just come back to your school anyway, so you change them right then and there.
I know.
Right? You have a couple that will end up at some other district, and that's what we're looking for in this report,
Okay.
is that continued elsewhere that you can change that code.
And you find that under where,
AZS, under accountability.
So in Power School,
Yeah.
you'll click on the little arrow in the top right corner to get to ADE Connect. And then you'll see, the AZ's portal and then accountability. So you have to get into ADE Connect first.
because I have to sign in.
You have to be signed into Power School.
No. Let me go back.
Leah, I'll get with you after the call to make sure we can get you on.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on that student 79 report?
And like Sally said, make sure you print that out to attach to the withdrawal form. We'll add that to the notes.
Okay, and then we're kind of excited about AZ Dash. You guys may not have a whole lot to do with it. We tried to show that and train teachers and principals in it about 3 years ago, and it was a flop because it didn't do what it needed to do and there was nothing in it anyway. So they pretty much pulled it back and redesigned it completely. And where this can help with you guys is if you hear people asking, hey, I need, information on my students or information on test scores or information on how they did on certain statistical data stuff. You might want to go in there and look around and see. I think they can go in there, can't they, Carol?
It depends on their permissions, so I don't know.
Yeah, you may or may not have permission to do that, but if you do, you just go right into Power School and click on that ADE Connect arrow, and you can kind of look around and see. But encourage your teachers and your principals to look in that, and especially maybe have your principals with training. Next Tuesday, I'll do some training with the principals to kind of show them what's out there, so they'll be aware as well. Next item is just the audit that went very well, so we're super grateful for Leslie and Sally and the work they did to get everything cleaned up and for the help you guys gave in making that happen. After that is current day funding. We're waiting to be brought on board, but we don't get any heads up that I know of, Sally, do we? They just say when we're ready, they're gonna do it, basically, right?
Yeah.
So school finance decides when people come on. They're having to handle it, obviously, in cycles, but there are some things Sally's doing that once she has finalized out of last year, is my understanding that they may pull us on a little bit sooner, so.
Right, as soon as the 915 is completed, we will definitely go on these states. So we want to make sure that all your entries are in and all your withdrawal kits are done on days that they extract, and they usually do it in the evening about 5:30. So you have all day to do that.
You might, I really liked Sally's suggestion in this little piece that, you might put those calendar days on your calendar. So that you have a reminder that goes off that says, ooh, I've gotta make sure everything's updated, you know, the day before this or something. Any questions on that? And then I don't have anything to say on Kristen's instructional assistance. Alice, do you know on that SPED part, do you guys know where that spreadsheet is? Because she didn't send me a link to put on here, but when she called me yesterday, she said, oh, they all know where it is.
Are you talking to us with this?
Of course.
What are we supposed to know? What are we supposed to know where it is?
Under the SPED information, there's something that Kristen wanted us to put in under instructional assistance. And she said, you guys all know where that spreadsheet is that deals with what she put there? And maybe no one's on here that really deals with the time clocks, so.
See, I was told that I don't have anyone here that this applies to.
Okay.
You don't have any SPED aides?
I do, but.
Well, they would be attending Friday
What I do
trainings.
is this, I was told that it applies to her.
Okay. All right.
I figured that when I first heard it.
Yeah, and then the last element on there is the label extractions, which means basically if your PowerSchool is not up to date on those days, on the extraction date, they do not get their labels for their tests, for their state mandated tests, and so it creates more work for the principals or Henry to have to go into the Tide system and enter them manually. So again, 3 dates that would be really helpful if you would put on your calendars and make sure your stuff is as up to date as possible. That's all we have, unless you have other questions. I do have a question as far as the format. One of the things we wanted to do is leave the other information there in case you wanted to review or say, hey, what did she say last time? So we colored that dark gray. Was this easy enough for you to read? Did it work well doing it this way? Because I plan to keep adding and just turning the old stuff gray, rather than making you have to go back and go, oh wait, what did she say at the last meeting kind of thing. Vote on whether you like that or don't like that.
I like that. I like to have it where I can see that, I like it. I like the reminder of what, you know, each time it doesn't hurt to be reminded of what we did.
All right, well, that's all I have, unless anyone has any other questions. Sally, Leslie, do you have anything else?
No, I don't. I have a question.
Yes.
My name doesn't show that I'm on here. Should it show that I'm on here? I know it has nothing to do with what we're talking right now, but.
No, that's good. That's good. I'm looking really quick. No, I see you. You just must not see yourself.
Alrighty.
Yep, I see you on there. Cool. All right, that's all there is to it, man. A lot less time, hopefully, that you're spending getting that information. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.